Aloha friends scattered across the globe. This is Rachel. I'm speaking to you today from Hawaii. I'm a Simpson alum from 2009, started in 2004. Yep, 5-year plan. That's right. Proud of it. But anyway, I'm speaking to you today concerning the protest that happened at Simpson last week. And many of you wrote saying that this was all kind of new information to you. And I think having been graduated for a while and maybe many of you being out of the area, it's hard to feel a sense of connection with what's going on. But I lived in Reading until just 9 months ago. And so I was able to kind of stay in touch with some of what was going on and some of the people that are currently the movers and shakers. And so I hope that today I can share and itemize some of those things with you that have been going on, and also encourage you to join me in signing that protest. So what is Simpson University to us as alumni? For a lot of us, it was a while ago, and it's awkward to think back at our freshman days. But so many of us have found lifelong friends, have met our spouses, have been challenged and transformed by the renewing of our minds, have found our life's direction, have made best friends with professors at Simpson during our season there. And we cherish and love what it has been to us. I think that that's a hope that I hold as an alum for future students at Simpson, that they would get to experience the same life-transforming season that I had in college. I also think that probably many of you, like me, hope that Simpson will always retain something of the essence of what it began as in 1921 as a place of biblical training and sending for students to go all over the world and be world changers. So many amazing missionaries and pastors and teachers and business people have been trained through Simpson, and may that legacy continue for many, many decades to come. So what is the current situation? My concern ultimately is that Simpson University may be becoming secular. Now that might sound really crazy to you, but this is the same path that Harvard, Yale, and many other of our former Bible schools have taken. And I think that there's certain things that have been breaking down in the Simpson community that lead me to think that this is a possible road we're going down, unless we act and unless we change that trajectory. So let me list for you a few of the issues that were described in quite a lot of detail in a blog post by the current Simpson students that were part of the protest. They very thoughtfully put these together. The first is the Campus Activities Board, which is the current student group that has been planning events and activities and representing the students to the administration. Many of them in the last few years have resigned and have tried to communicate with the administration about this, but have not had a proper hearing. The Title IX exemption is something that the administration applied for without notifying any faculty or students, and many of them found out through a Huffington Post article. Later after that, our current interim president, Dr. Dumer, did inform the community about this. A little bit late. A lot of students, staff, and administration have expressed a lack of clear vision. They don't know, where is Simpson University going? What are we about? Have we lost that vision? There also seems to be a lack of trust between students and administration, partly because the students don't know who works on the 3rd floor of the Owen Center and doesn't see them and doesn't feel like there's a sense of relationship. And so in that, they also feel that as they express and share their concerns, that they're speaking to a vacuum and there's no clear response, or no response as they desire. Another concern is $18 million that are a bit unaccounted for right now, and Simpson has been doing a lot of projects lately, but are we really moving forward on actually covering the cost of all these mortgages and payments? In recent years, Simpson has also been recruiting athlete students but there's concern that many of these athletes are not being told that Simpson University is a Christian school. And often the lifestyles of these athletes are different from the lifestyles of other students on campus, and there's been a lot of division and tension between those two camps. Something that the students don't feel that the administration is helping them navigate. Faculty are also concerned for their contracts and don't feel safe. This is rooted in the last concern detailed in the Grievances, which is the litigation with Simpson by Dr. Sarah Sumner. Dr. Sumner was the dean of Tozer Seminary, and after just a few years of serving that community, she was fired very quickly without due process. And she was rehired because Simpson had done wrong in firing her so quickly without process. And so after a few more months, she was again fired, supposedly the correct way. But as she has felt a lack of trust and integrity in the process, and a lot of kind of backstabbing and lying going on in the background, she's felt like it was right to push forward in suing the university. So they're currently engaged in a lawsuit. So I want to appeal to you, my friends, who are influencers, who have been influencers in the past as students, to really look into these things, to pray into these things, and to consider, what do we want the Simpson of tomorrow to look like? And what is our stake as alumni in the future of Simpson University? I think a helpful analogy for me is thinking of Simpson as kind of like an extended family. It's a community where I was nurtured and formed and influenced and empowered in wonderful ways. It's a community that I, as an alum, feel I have some responsibility to contribute to in the future so that other students can be as blessed as I've been. And so here's a critical opportunity where Simpson might be going down one road that seems to be a negative road, and how do we as alumni want to play our hand in that? I think since the university is a place we were formed, is also the place in our diploma, we have some right as well as some responsibility to do our part in its continued future. Who knows, someday maybe we'll send our kids there. So some of these people that I see as influencers in the past are Tim and Ashley Altero, Mike and Mary Floth, Akshay Lazarus, David Bosme, John Hinton and Mary Beth Swanson Hinton, Brianne Watson, Matt Giles, Stephanie Schmidt, Simeon Frank, Michelle Taslar, Sarah Parodi, Sang Ali, Jordan Spencer, Daniel Dixon, and so many others that I have not mentioned. These are just people that I was closer to during my time at Simpson. I want to appeal to you today to look deeper into these issues and to, as best as your conscience leads you, to consider signing that petition and also writing a letter to the board of directors, or rather the board of trustees. Lastly, I do want to share a few of my thoughts about how the students have handled this protest, and also the concerns that weigh most heavily on me. So the process that has been taken is, first, immediately following the firing of Dr. Sumner, many students and staff raised their voices and asked the administration to listen. But while the administration represented and came in body, it didn't seem that their ears were really open, and no action that was desired by the student complaints was actually taken. In the last year, 3 student-led focus discussion groups were held for students to express their concerns and voice that together, to see if they had a lot of the same ideas. And it's those 3 focus groups that led these now 3 Simpson senior guys to go on a hunger strike and sleep out in front of the Owen Center for 5 nights. I think my personal opinion is that this was a good action to take because the administration has not responded to more subtle forms of communication, And so sometimes you need to raise the stakes and make it more public and visible. So I admire Daniel Dixon and the other two senior guys for their initiative and their boldness to take this risky step. Lastly, some of my thoughts about what most troubles me is following the firing of Dr. Sumner, the incumbent president was given a vote of no confidence by faculty and staff and dismissed. So in a very short time, we lost the dean of Tozer, we lost the current president, and then shortly after that, another dean of Aspire, who left because she was not confident in the way things were going. That really concerns me. So the main key people driving the institution left their post for different reasons. Succeeding that, 75 more employees left for various reasons. Another thing that troubles me is while I am thankful that we had an interim president step in, Dr. Robin Dumer, who many of us had as a professor, I'm not sure quite what his thoughts are in the future of Simpson University as an institution. His doctoral dissertation was about the process that schools make from Bible school to becoming a secular university. And while one response to this could be, how can we stop that process and maintain integrity as a Christian institution? It felt to me as though, I could be wrong here, it felt to me as though this was his way of just kind of letting those things happen and not trying to stop that trend. So here's my concern, friends. Take it, pray into it, and act as you feel led. But I hope you'll sign that petition, and feel free to contact me with any thoughts or questions. Check out the links below. Thank you.